The Halal Travel Podcast.
Alright, Assalamualaikum and welcome to another episode of the Halal Travel Podcast, where we interview inspirational Muslims from all over the world. So, we all now live in Singapore. And Singapore is a multi-ethnic, multiracial country with a lot of different foreigners, different races, different religions, and we take pride in the fact that we can live harmoniously with everybody. So one thing that I think most Singaporeans do not have the privilege of is to speak to our migrant workers, right? To understand more about their journey to Singapore and what we can learn. Because most of the time we just like, I think we are just like an introverted country lah, huh? So now today we are extremely excited to have one migrant worker. His name is Nazrul Islam on our podcast. So say hi, Nazrul.
Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much for inviting me for the get to know about our background, how we live in Singapore, how we contribute to your society and my society as well. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us actually. Yeah, so I'll just give a brief introduction, but I don't think it'll be that brief because his resume is very, very long. So I have my notes on my MacBook and I'm just gonna read it out. Okay. So Nazrul Islam is a co-founder and executive committee member of Help Societies International and secretary of the Marine Parade Toastmaster Club. Okay, so he has been in Singapore for, I think, more than 10 years. And he has worked as an occupational safety, health and environmental professional for the last 10 years. And not only that, he also served as an English teacher at Shaw Lodge Dormitory and also volunteer for Migrant Worker Trainer Center at SDI Academy as a career consultant. So you think that's all, but you know what? He actually went ahead to have his bachelor's in environmental and occupational health and safety from University of Newcastle. My gosh, you have a lot of things going for you, Nazrul. How does it feel?
Not really, yeah.
Really? I doubt that. Yeah, so
okay.
So I think for our listeners out there, you could just share with us, starting from the beginning, how do you travel to Singapore? What made you change your mind, or rather what made you decide to come to Singapore to work?
Oh, that's very crucial question to answer. Actually, I was a teenager before I planned to came Singapore. I was just studying in junior college. So in the junior college study time, my father business was not doing very well. And then we are 5 siblings, including myself. So Hari Raya, Idul Fitri time, I came from hostel to back home. And then one of my uncle, actually he approached me, Nazrul, as I knew about your family, why not you try to go abroad to earn better living for your family and yourself? I said, why I shall go? He told me that you can go Singapore. Why I should choose Singapore? He said, I was there for some times and then I find that Singapore, you can earn quite better than compared to other Middle East country. I said, okay, all right. Then I have decided, so how I shall go? He told me that in order to go, you have to go to Overseas Training Center in Bangladesh, which is actually a test taken by Singapore Building Construction Authority. And then there are various training centers. Then I have finally decided to go for that in order to support my siblings and my parents. And then after Hari Raya celebration, I didn't back to my college. I back to skill training center.
So do you stop school? Where is it?
I stopped my studying halfway for junior college.
And you also mentioned that I think the choice was within Middle East and Singapore. So why is it normal for people to work from Bangladesh to work in the Middle East?
Yeah, it's those days was very common to work Middle East, like Saudi, Dubai, Qatar, Kuwait, all those countries. And many my cousins also working there, and then they are not earning as like Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
surprised.
one word actually encouraged me to choose Singapore. Actually, I was always eager to learn. And then he told me in Singapore you have opportunity to learn as well while you working. So that is something actually motivate me.
Which you are doing now, right? According to Nurul.
Yeah, I keep doing since I'm here. Yeah, still learning.
At which stage? At which age was it
That you
that
decided.
you decided to Singapore?
When I came, I was about 24. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be very difficult for you to be so far away from your family, especially at that young age. Were you concerned about, being in a foreign country? Because I think a lot of migrant workers would face the same issue as you, right?
Yeah, actually, initially I was worried about abroad because most of my cousin when they go abroad, I see their family, everybody crying, so being away. So same thing happened to me as well. And then I do not have any close relatives in Singapore as well those days. And then I was worried. And after came to Singapore, I was worried more. Because when I first day arrived, 14 of us actually arrived at 10 p.m. At night in Singapore airport, Changi airport. Then what was happened, the agent came forward and told us that, okay, guys, you all wait here. I'll come back soon. I'll drop some other people and then come back and take you. And those come back took him for 12 hours.
Wow.
So he come next day about after 10 a.m. And those 12 hours was the highly critical, crucial for us, 14 of us. 14 of us was actually very fresh in Singapore. And we know nuts about Singapore, actually.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And then...
So wait. When you say that 12 hours, where were you guys at?
Airport.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah. Why was that? So we actually can't speak English like now I'm speaking. Then we actually not very familiar with over here people as we are very new. What was happened? And in the airport, there was very cold.
Yes.
So we were actually initially a few hours we were waiting at the waiting place. So most of the people are catching up from there near to the taxi station. Then after waiting few hours, so we were very cold, we couldn't sleep. And then was hungry as well.
Oh no.
Very hungry. And then we had a Bangladeshi taka, but actually people told me that you can convert the money Mustafa for an exchange once you come back, because usually all the Bangladeshi people are meeting at Mustafa around in the Sunday, day of free. But that particular time we don't have enough money, and then the airport those days you can buy things like today.
Yeah.
And we are very cold. What has happened? Then we look out for the place. Then we go staircase over here, over there. Wherever we go, we see many people are lying down. Yeah. Not only us, there are many people. Some people came late. Then with the midnight, they know where to go because of MRT is off. Yeah. So those whole night, it was very cold for us, and then very hungry. And those days I'll never forget in my life. Yeah.
Wow. I never would have imagined being left in an airport, like in a foreign airport, and I do not know how to speak the language.
Yeah.
For 12 hours.
I feel so lost. Lost in translation. Like the movie.
I just want to know, like, when you say you went for the
Course.
Was it for the course? Like, what do you guys actually learn?
Sorry, could you repeat, please?
Someone suggested, I think your uncle suggested that you go for this course in Bangladesh before you come to Singapore, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys learn there?
There's course called skill reinforcement. Still, all the building, they have the steel bar is usually called rebar. So in order to make a column and beam and slab for the building, so there should have the rebars, So they actually giving us some sorts of drawing. They have the few project over there. Some called cantilever, some called pile cap, some called new T. It's like a T shape, some is like cantilever type. So all those project you need to make by a rebar. So those rebar actually initially they teach you how to read the drawing. So after you get to know how to read the drawing, then they will give you one drawing and some rebars and will give a cutter. So you need to see the drawing. According to drawing, you need to cut those rebar and you need to use a bar bender. That's called in order to rebar bending. You need to bend the rebar yourself manually. And then you need to tie all those rebar together and make sure a structure stand.
So they teach you the basics there.
Basics. And then the worst part is that those rebar first they give you, they are not giving you everyday new rebar. So end of the everyday class, so you have to dismantle whole project.
Oh no.
And then you have to make all those rebars straight for next day's project.
After bending them, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And then
Your heart must be very painful after that.
Yeah,
All my hard work's
exactly.
gone.
Nazrul, I have a question. So like when you were younger back in Bangladesh, like what was your aspirations? Like what did you want to be? Did you see yourself being in the construction industry or do you want to be something else?
actually, I was always wanted to become an engineer.
Okay.
So, and back home, I had no opportunity because of those things happened to me. And then after I came Singapore, this dream has been, I have achieved last 4 months back. So last 4 in February, I have joined as a project engineer. I was a safety professional for 10 years. So after 10 years, due to some coincidence, and I happened to join as an engineer.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's amazing. You must be very proud of yourself. And I think your family would also be proud of you.
Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy for that, what I have achieved right now.
Yeah, so do you think your other peers, all the other migrant workers in Singapore could also follow your footsteps? What do they have to do in order to achieve their dreams to become, for instance, a project engineer, for instance? Yeah.
Well, actually, this is a long process, not a one-day task. In order to become an engineer, either you should have a diploma or degree in back home in our own country and come back here, or you need to study here, either Singapore Poly or any other polytechnic or any other private institute. Or you can go for university like NUS, or any other university. There are a lot of foreign university. They have campus here in Singapore, and also some distance learning. So you have to choose the subject, and you have to see where it is available, and then whether it is affordable for you or time management. Time is a significant issue for us. And then those are migrant brothers. In order to become, not me, I will not suggest to become me, become a better than me. So that is something you should aim for. And then in order to do that, you need to start from bottom. So in order to, because if you want to go for higher study, there is a lot of costs. So in order to, those are getting $1,000, $1,500 salary. It's not easy for them to go for those schools. So therefore, they need to do short courses and get gradually promoted to next level. So when you get the reasonable salary, when you can survive your family and yourself, then you should plan for bigger course, which I did. So what I did was I start from the lifting supervisor course, which is just $300 initially. And then how I did was I save at least 5 to 10% of my salary every month for upgrading myself. So till today, I'm also doing that. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So like how long have you worked in Singapore until you were offered the lifting supervisor? What was it?
Okay, what else? Yeah.
What was it just now? The lifting supervisor, is it?
Yeah, it's a lifting supervisor course, but I didn't do that job. So what was happened when I first start work at Marina Bay Sands? Marina Bay Sands IR Hotel. Yeah, that's my first job. So I see every day the lifting supervisor, they get signal, they are giving signal to crane and supervising, and they no need to carry manually anything. They're mostly using the crane to hoist, and then they are earning much better than me what I was earning that particular time. And one of my co-worker, he approached me, Nazrul. He actually came a few months earlier than me. He told me, Nazrul, you want to become lifting supervisor, you can earn more money. So what I need to do? He said, let's go for lifting supervisor course. So it was after 6 months spent in Singapore. Then I said, okay, let's go for it. And I went to Tetong Training Center, myself and he, and we passed the exam. And then I didn't do that job. Then within another few months, I took a safety supervisor course.
A what?
Safety supervisor.
Safety supervisor. And within 1 year, I was promoted as a assistant site supervisor. Then from there, after 2 years, working for that particular project, then project is ended. And then there is no new job for that particular company which I work for. Then I have to change. That is all the action came. So what I did, I approached one of my subcontractor, safety manager. I said, sir, I have these are the course as you saw me in this project, how I work. So I would like to join your company. He said, yes, sure, why not? Yeah. Then I paid a big amount of money for the processing fee for the company, which is very affordable. And then I joined that company as a safety supervisor. Yeah.
Okay, wait, I'm curious. So previously you said that you came to Singapore through an agency, right?
Yeah.
So this agency did not follow up with you when you're in Singapore?
Yeah, this agency, their job is only
to bring in, is it?
They are actually their job finished in Dhaka city already. How that is? They give us ticket. Then once we came to Singapore, they have no more responsibility.
Oh, so basically you're
Then
on your own.
Yeah. So agent actually just arrange the training, and then after that training, they find the company, no matter good or whatever it is. Initially, you have no other choice those days. Then they find out random company. If your luck is good, then you will find good company. If not, you will suffer.
Yeah.
So I was very lucky to have a good company. Yeah.
And during those times when you are very new to Singapore, you were living in a dormitory?
Yes, I was living in the dormitory.
So this dormitory is like you pay for it on your own, like it's not part of the agency, right?
No, actually, those dormitory fee actually paid by company, not by agent. So those migrant worker in Singapore, if they are in work permit holder, and then their accommodation should pay by company unless their contract is different. Yeah, if both parties agree. Right. You know, some people still have their work permit, but they have to pay because they are getting higher salary due to quota limitation. Sometimes they couldn't get the S pass or EP. Yeah.
How about now? Are you staying in dormitories?
No, I'm staying in HDB right now.
And you are staying on your own?
Yeah, I'm staying my own.
Okay. How does it feel like?
To have your own apartment.
Actually, not myself only stay here. We are staying here 6 person because one person can't afford to have.
Sure. Yeah. So you have
you know
roommates.
you know the facts, right?
Yes.
Even I can
and-
afford.
So for us, it's much difficult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a random question. So, very long time ago, I took a safety, what's it called? BCA's,
BCSS, yeah.
something like that with all the
Yeah.
multiple choice questions, right? It was so difficult. And actually, I passed. So, I'm wondering whether that particular certificate is still valid. Like, does it expire? Do you know?
Those certificate has no expire date.
Oh, no.
Yeah, especially yeah.
So I can work
So it's
with
still
you.
valid. Definitely.
can jump.
Yeah, I can work with you, man.
Okay, let's start.
It's not going to go easy on you.
Actually, I don't mind, like whenever we go to like a super shopping centers and all that, and Singapore has so many constructions, and I always look at the migrant workers. They build the scaffolding, and I'm like, how do you climb up? Then I just watch. So I've always wanted to try it out. Yeah, I don't know whether can or not lah.
Start on the bottom, he said.
Why not? Definitely can. My second company, my safety coordinator was a local Chinese lady, actually. So she actually gradually now become already safety manager. But if you embark on those projects, you can gradually improve safety supervisor, coordinator, officer, manager, or even regional manager. You can be.
Whoa. You can send in your resume after this.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay,
Why
so-
not? Sure.
Okay, so now you're working with are you still working with the initial company?
No, this is my 5th company actually I am working for. Actually, I have not habit to change a company very often, but due to COVID-19 last 1 year, I changed 3 company. And then last whole 13 years, I changed only 2 company.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us
Because
more.
after COVID-19, I joined in a company, but unfortunately that company bankrupt.
Oh no.
Because
so
of
I
COVID?
had no choice.
Is it because of COVID?
They actually facing financial difficulties since 2018, but I was very unlucky to read those news and join that company. But actually, Alhamdulillah, Allah has always a better plan for us.
True.
So that is why I become engineer today. If not, I will be only safety officer. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Annyeong, welcome to Jeju, South Korea, the island of beautiful nature, the best beaches, and home to some of the most scenic road trips. Indulge in only the best classic and halal Korean food scene, and enjoy the laid-back lifestyle here on this island. Get your legs ready to hike up the Songsan Ilchulbong to see the amazing view of this little town, and maybe say hello to the Henyo, the majestic female divers right by the ocean. And one thing you can never miss on this island is the $1 million sunset at Depo Chuseong Jolly Cliff. All of that right here in Jeju, South Korea.
Yeah, so I've had the privilege of working with a Bangladeshi worker very long time ago. We were working in like a particular carnival lah. So I would say that whenever I meet a Bangladeshi worker, they have a very big heart. So I can give you an example. The guy that I met, right? So we had to work 12 hours on our feet. We had no choice to sit. We had no option to sit down. So we're always standing for the entire 12 hours, 5 days a week for that particular event lah. So the only time we get to sit down was during lunchtime or during dinner. So when we had dinner one day, I don't know why the company decided to tapao or like order this particular meal, and some somehow or other he saw me gag, like I couldn't swallow the food. So he saw me do that. And then he was about to open his packet of food. And then he saw me gag, right? So he just like, you want my food? And I said, but I already eat. No, it's okay. No, he was willing to give up his food, even though he doesn't have any additional ones. So I'm like, wow, such huge humility. Not humility, what's the word for it? Generosity. Yes, generosity.
But is it the same food?
No, it's different because we were all from different companies that work in a particular same event. lah. Yeah, so I just want to understand from you, like from your own perceptions, right? What are some of the misconceptions or like the discrimination or stereotypes that migrant workers face from Singaporeans?
Alhamdulillah, to be honest, till today, migrant Bangladesh, especially I talking about Bangladeshi migrant workers, has been able to prove that they are very generous through their work, through their donation, through their volunteering in Singapore. And then stereotype that we have is very general, and many people think we are not same. Yeah, we are not same. Somebody even think, there is a color different, there is a language different, there is a, slang different, right? So it's not easy for everyone to accept migrant worker in their community. But yes, there are a lot of my friends and like you guys are very welcoming. And then we appreciate all of your gratitude towards us. And then we have observed throughout this pandemic, many locals approach us, and many locals has been donated to foods, and they also provided various trainings for mental health. And till now, they are actually providing many supplies. Also, they are forwarding our message to local authorities, to encourage authorities to take care to all migrant workers, not only us. And then they has approved it. And before pandemic, most of people actually they have lack of knowledge about how we live in Singapore. So during pandemic, I hope most of them they understood what is the situation we're facing. That is not easy, but we have no other choices. It's not easy to solve those problems one day.
Yep.
But we appreciate the local, how they approach us. And then for us, what we can do is we can build your house, and then we can approach you as a worker, how we can better serve you in different ways. And then I hope those things we are sitting down right now, and those things you used to talk to me, and I hope some of our migrant brothers build that. Yeah, so those are still not appreciating the works they should appreciate. And then we are not regret about those people are not appreciating. Because we also have some financial needs. That is why we are here. We are not here to show what I can do or what I am. We are here to earn our living and serve the community.
Yeah, and I think the COVID-19 pandemic was also like very, very, it's really an eye-opener for me, because like, remember the time when everyone is under lockdown during circuit breaker, and I just like look at our grasses just overflowing from the pavement. I'm just like, I'm in Jumanji or something, and like it's not until like this happens that you realize that you actually need migrant workers. If like, as Singaporeans, I think we are very, very privileged because we feel like it's not a job for us.
Yeah.
Very, very much golden spoon kind of children, But then like, it really takes the COVID-19 to the pandemic to show us that migrant workers are very, very important in our lives. It's a community lah, basically. Yeah, and I just want to ask, like, how did the COVID-19 pandemic how was it like for you? Like, I think we know that people who were living in the dormitories were affected a lot. And were you living in a dormitory at that point of time?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, I was very lucky to staying in the dormitory those initial days until August last year. And after September, I got a new company and I got S-Pass. Then I out from dorms. Before that, actually, I stay outside, not in the dorm, because my company earlier, they allow us to stay private house, whereby rent by company. And before pandemic, so company has decided to bring all of us to the dormitory. Then that particular time we had no choice. Then we have to live in the dormitory until we find something better for our own.
And do you have friends who were still in dormitories?
Yeah, we were 14 of us in my room in Charlotte. And then 14 of us was COVID-19 positive. I was one of them.
Oh dear.
And yeah, we had no choice in April when circuit breaker took place. We were in the dorm, and then we living until May 15. So May 15, one of my colleague, he was sick. Then he approached to swab test. Then certainly he got the positive, and rest of us get positive as well next day.
Oh my.
After he get positive, so we went to test as well ourselves. Yeah, so then all of us become positive, but some of us had no symptoms at all. But some of us was a bit symptom like a running nose. Yeah, and then the government and the MOH actually, Ministry of Health, they sent us to Expo Community Care. And then we were there for more than 2 weeks and declared as a COVID-free. It was an excellent experience.
Oh, really?
In what sense? Efficiency, maybe.
Excellent experience in terms of in the dorms. We are living 14 of us in one room.
Okay.
And in community center, 2 of you has one room, and then you can you can walk around in the expo hall is quite big, right?
Big, yes.
So you can exercise along the hall, and then you can at least walk. Because of circuit breaker, more than 1 month, we couldn't go out from room. So it was like a blessing. At least we have the opportunity to walk around. And then during Ramadan that time actually.
I remember,
so in Ramadan time, we were very happy to fasting that particular time. And then in Hari Raya day, we had the chance to pray that time together in the community care. Actually, those live outside, they couldn't have their Eid prayer last Hari Raya.
Yeah, that's right.
So blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I love the way that you look at things positively. You look at all the blessings that you have instead of like harping on like, I have a COVID-19, my life is over. But instead you look at the positive things, and that's really amazing. Got to commend you for that, man.
It's like looking at the simplicity of life.
Yeah.
And like we're Singaporeans, like, I cannot eat out. I cannot dine out. And then like people who have COVID-19 who are forced to be in Expo, I think they...
No windows, by the way. Like,
I can't like...
It's air conditioned. But can you imagine living in that confines of that space and not have natural light coming in where you are? It's very difficult, I think. So you really need to have a good... be in a good mental space.
Yeah. And I would say, because I used to work in Expo as well, it's super cold.
It's cold.
It's like Changi Airport cold.
Remembering the times. Okay, anyways. Also, like when you were talking about Expo, right? I got reminded of the situation right now in Malaysia. So there's a video which is going around where COVID-19 patients are being put in a stadium, and in an enclosed stadium with like beds. But I think Singapore's version of that is a bit better because like I think you guys have your own cubicles, is it? in Expo?
Yes. They have one cubicle, and some area have more than 2%. Some area have 2%. Some area even 1%.
Yeah,
But the arrangement was excellent, which made by the Ministry of Health. Yeah, really appreciating those arrangement.
yeah. But the one in Malaysia, it was just beds. So there is no cubicle, no privacy at all. They're just beds. And like the most saddening part is that you'll see some of the older ones just like sitting down and like constantly zikir because like they think that they are reaching their
End of life.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's a lot more difficult right now in Malaysia. I mean, thank God we didn't get to experience that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah.
like I was just wondering, like for you guys, when you guys got COVID-19, right? I think apart from this appreciating that you guys get to pray together, etc. Like, did it ever cross your mind that you're gonna be reaching like end of life, etc.?
I had no feeling of that, but I always was very enthusiastic, and also I encourage my colleagues and those around me to do physical exercise. Even though in my room time also I encourage them to exercise in the room. Then I was lead them, and then in the Expo, we did same thing as well. We even run inside. Yeah, and then I was very lucky to know that one of my roommates, he lost 6 kg after the circuit breaker, everything over. Yeah.
Wow.
Very productive circuit breaker. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, actually, in those pandemic, actually, is a mind game, actually.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes, those pandemics, because of pandemic, people are thinking too nervous. Too nervous, also emotionally, people get ill. So when emotionally people down, they are getting a lot of sickness. So I like to be enthusiastic and stay active. So yeah.
Do you, Nazrul, I mean, because of, circuit breaker and COVID, you probably have not seen your family in a while. Do you, I mean, it's an obvious answer to the question. Like, do you miss them? Obviously, yes, you miss them. But like before, like pre-COVID, like how often would you fly back home?
You asked me very shocking question. I couldn't stop hearing.
Oh, okay.
We are your new family now.
Thank you very much for that. Actually, I had family back home, so I have 2 daughters earlier, and usually every year I go visit them. So last visit was 2019, November to December 31st. January 1st, 2020, I came Singapore. So after I came Singapore last year, end of last year actually. So I get to know another good news. I have a baby boy.
Congratulations!
Yeah, but I was very unlucky. Couldn't see him personally. Yeah. So today now he's talking about Baba, but really shocking. Although I'm laughing, but my heart is tear. I have a lot of tear.
Once you can, once travel restrictions ease, probably the first thing you do is fly back home and see them.
Absolutely.
We hope it happens.
Actually want to go right now. If in order to go, can go. So after all those achievements, if certainly I go back and without better plan, so it could be a disaster for me.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I just got reminded again about families who have relatives working in Singapore and then their initial family is in Malaysia, in Johor. So they would meet at the borders and they would say hi and everything. And I hear some people who say like, what's the point of like seeing from far when you can see up close through a video? But I think it's different.
For sure,
you need to experience it yourself to understand that even like seeing the person from far in real life is macam terubat hati, like macam, it at least like soothes your heart a little bit. And like for Nazrul, he cannot do that.
Yep.
You know, everything is
Video. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the friend that I made last time as well. So I asked him like, oh, how's your parents like back in Bangladesh? And then he started tearing up, and he was like, yeah, every day my mother called me and she will always cry and it makes me sad, because back then it wasn't very common for you to have the WhatsApp video and all that. So he was not able to see. Yeah, but it's funny actually, his story of how he came to Singapore. He was actually, his dream was to be in like the sound or audio visual kind of thing. And he had to grow a beard in order to make himself look older to get to Singapore.
This it was very common earlier days actually.
Is that why you have a beard now?
No. Before I came here already I had it. I just growing that time. So after I came Singapore, now become longer.
I see. Yeah, I think we need to kind of like remember that all these migrant workers, they have families back home, and then we should really treat them like a normal human being. So and then they're here not just to work also. I mean, like every other person, they have hobbies, they have interests, they have other things they want to try and do. Maybe because of constraints like financial means, time, they might not be able to. But like associations like migrant workers associations, they have like festivals that they put forward for migrant workers to actually do poetry, to do so many things, which I think is amazing. And sometimes I see that they call for volunteers. So I think that is a good opportunity for local Singaporeans who want to get to know our migrant workers better, but just don't know where to start. I think that's the first step. Like we want to, I think in our hearts, like we really welcome them. It's amazing that the work that they do for us, but we just don't know how. Like you saw that Channel News Asia video like a while back of when they were following this migrant worker fasting in Singapore, and then like this family welcomed. I think he was actually working on Paya Lebar Quarter, the company, and then they welcome him home, welcome him to their home to like breakfast and things. He was talking about his family, and it's just so emotional, really. I think you need to, unless you watch that sort of things, then you don't realize that these people really have families back home. Can you imagine being separated from your families for so long? Already, Hazira.
Actually, you can do something very simple, like I think your HDB blocks, sometimes they have the renovation where they paint your house, right? So they will always have the gondola with the workers there painting the house, and most of the time you would just close the windows and then just walk out of the room and like let them do their work. What me and my brother do, right, it's like we see them and then we'll say hi and then wait for them to go up, and then we'll offer them like iced water because it's very hot. So all these small little actions, even saying hi to your cleaners downstairs, just say hi, and I think they are more than happy to just like say hi too, right?
I definitely suggest like saying hi, because I think macam a lot of the workers when I meet on the street, right, I would say hi to them and they were like, oh, hello. But if I do that to the locals, very rarely.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why, but then like it's just a lot easier for them.
And sometimes they're also very friendly. They would just say Assalamualaikum.
Right. Yes.
They would just say hi, good morning. And it really makes your day. Just I feel like treat them like a person.
We forgot that Nazrul is here. Nazrul.
I'm hearing you guys. I'm just listening. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
That's so sweet of you.
No lah, I think.
But especially when you are very separated from your family members abroad for many years, you started out your Help Societies International. Could you share a little bit more about what that is?
Okay. The Help Society International, actually, we had a community, safety community. Those are from Bangladeshi. They are working here. So we happen to meet once a year. So before COVID. So they have decided to have a committee for those group. So I was surprised those meetup, and they have been decided both for me as a executive committee for those group. Then after become a member for those that group, 11 of us actually. So after some time, so we planned that we should do something. So as they make us the executive committee for that group, so we should do something for them. Then what to do? Then all of us, why not we make a non-profit organization whereby we can help a lot of migrant workers, and not only Singapore, even the Bangladesh as well. Then we form as a organization called Help Societies International. So help societies, why? Because of not only one society. As sometimes we may have our own faith, maybe not like other faith. So why we give societies? So we'll work for every faith, every people, and not only Bangladeshi, wherever it is. Then we did some campaign in Bangladesh for the free medical camp. My younger brother actually is a medical doctor. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So he's now even army captain in Bangladesh. At the same time, medical doctor. So I have approached him. So how we can organize those things. Then he actually guided me. And then there was more than 11 doctor came my hometown, and then we organized campaign. Usually we have another organization back home in my village. So we actually get motivation from that organization. They actually usually do those things. And then in Singapore, we actually able to help a lot of migrant brothers to stay alert emotionally, and we have conducted a lot of trainings for emotional health management, mental health management, and then also learning English and Mandarin, all the stuff is keep going. And then we have a fitness group called Health Societies Fitness Group. So many people like to riding cycle, like me. I am like to run and cycling and traveling everywhere. And so actually had an idea. Then now it's work out, and then we keep on doing good things. Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that Nazrul Islam was participating in a marathon. A marathon, guys. Sometimes you forget that migrant workers also have a life outside.
Yeah.
You think that all they do is work, but then Nazrul Islam went for a marathon, guys. Marathon.
Like how do you fit all of these amazing hobbies, within your schedule? Like
And studying. And
running, studying, working, family. Yeah, it's a lot.
Actually, I don't have proper plan like you guys, but I like to do things and not stop myself in a point whereby only stick into something. So I actually try to utilize all the free times. Yeah, that is what something I'm doing, and it is works actually.
Yeah, so
Sometimes
no
when
Netflix. No Netflix, no YouTube, no sleeping. Must do something.
Get out.
No, definitely watching the YouTube, everything is okay. But when I first started running, I was unable to run 1 kilometer. This was very difficult for me. And then I took more than 7 to 8 minutes. And then gradually I improve. Now I can finish a 1 kilometer about 4 minutes plus.
Wow.
So, and then earlier days, always I see how people can run 21 kilometers.
That's
40 kilometers. Wow, that's huge. Then in 2018, I was first actually ran 21 kilometer for Standard Chartered Singapore Marathon. And then, that was awesome. I finished it 2 hours, 18 minutes. I thought that's a great achievement. And my gym coach, before that, actually, I practice in gym. I had a gym coach. I paid $1,000 to him to learn gym actually in Marine Parade. Then he told me that, Nazrul, don't go you are not fit for marathon, half marathon. I say,
Coach,
Ustad,
you keep quiet gitu.
yeah. I already registered. Let me try.
And you did it.
I did it.
that's amazing.
Excellently. Yeah.
Amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I think one thing that I'm gonna take away is that don't stop doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I wrote down is like, Dory from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. But after listening to whatever he's saying, there's one song. What is it called? The Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. Yeah.
Different generation. I don't know
my
what
God.
it is.
Really?
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, right? It's a popular song used in like commercials previously.
No, I don't know.
I know, we look it up later. Okay?
Zakira, you know?
She
You don't know.
doesn't.
He dad knows.
No way.
You guys are too old.
No.
Anyways, thank you so much, Nazrul Islam, for coming.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, it's such a privilege to actually speak to you and learn more about your story and the journey that you have through from Bangladesh to Singapore. And I think one of the things that you try to strive and also to encourage your fellow peers as well is to always not look on the bright side, but improve yourself both personally and professionally. So wish you all the best. And I think it's very hard for us to find you. So where can we actually find you, or anybody who is interested to know more about you? How can they reach out to you?
Actually, I'm everywhere. You
I'm
can
popular.
find me. No, not say popular. You can find me LinkedIn. You can find me Instagram. You can find me Facebook. All those stuff. I think enough for present days, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Even if you want to meet me in personally, maybe some days, if you have enough time to run with me or cycling with me,
If you want to eat,
then you can find me in UT. Yeah, Chua Chu Kang.
Yes.
Oh my God, seriously, wait. You just mentioned UT.
Yeah, UT, yeah.
I stay at UT.
you guys are neighbors.
My house is in UT. I'm not joking.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm just beside MRT, UT MRT, yeah.
I'm near the Chua Chu Kang Stadium.
Not the
you
world
are
knows
my
where you guys stay now.
neighbor. Excellent.
Oh my God. Okay, cool. So maybe inshallah when the pandemic settles down, we can definitely meet up. I don't know about running lah, but yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Inshallah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Nazrul, once again for spending time for us.
Thank you for all that you have done for us also. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I appreciate all of your good effort, and don't stop here. Keep doing. Actually, I already stopped it since got sometimes. I have camera I bought by $6,000, but now I'm not utilizing it.
Okay,
And then
we will look out for your first YouTube video.
I don't dare to do it.
No, just keep swimming, remember?
Yeah.
All right, thank you lah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for
May Allah bless you all and have a good time ahead.
Thank you.
likewise.
Thank you very much. Good night. So stop here. Please send me the video if possible.
Okay. I'm
And
supposed
then
to
the
wrap up this
podcast,
episode. Okay, hold on.
Hajira will wrap up.
It's okay. We didn't really have this. Okay, that one. Thank you for watching, guys. Go look at our previous episodes if you haven't. Like, share, and subscribe this video. Thank you. Okay, we will send you the video later.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Alright guys, thanks for listening. So we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget to give us a shout out on anchor.fm/The Halal Travel Podcast. Your voice message could be featured in our next episode.
Yep, and if you have any advertising and collaboration opportunities, contact us at info@halaltrip.com. That's info@halaltrip.com.
Also, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Halal Trip. We're also now on Telegram and TikTok. Until next time, get inspired, go and inspire others.